Hello and welcome to the Stars, Goddesses and What's for Tea podcast. My name is Samantha Selby and I am known as the astrological energy healer and channel for star goddess activations. I help the plate juggling women, the ones who really make the world go round, to lead a more spiritually aligned life, to recognise themselves as the goddesses that they truly are. I will be bringing the sometimes complicated concepts of astrology and energy healing down to earth and making them relevant to you and your life. If you haven't already, click on the link in the show notes to download my simple 2-step energy cleansing and alignment ritual so you can have your best day every day. Using the power of the planets, astrology and energy healing, you can take the inside track in your life and follow your soul pathway to the next level of soul ascension alongside human level health, wealth and happiness. So let's dive into all of this juiciness in today's episode. Hello and welcome to this latest episode in my Alchemy series. And this is a series of podcasts where I'm introducing you to the concept of astrology as alchemy, as this vessel for change and transformation. So in the last episode, I introduced you to the masculine principle of the sun, the vibration of frequency that your spirit is embodying, the energy that you committed to, that you said yes to. Your sun energy is your vitality. It is the vibration frequency that your soul chose to express your masculine energy through. And your soul chose this energy, this way of being, of going out into the world as your sun energy. And so it's natural that our next step is to explore the moon. So this episode is going to explore alchemy, astrology as alchemy, and embracing the moon, embracing your feminine signature. So we know that astrology it's all about the study of transformation and change. You are an ever evolving being, just as the universe is ever evolving. The universe, scientists, physicists tell us that the universe is continuously expanding and moving outwards. It's just mind-blowing how the concept of that everything is moving outwards. There is a constant change and transformation happening in the cosmos, and this is for you as well. You are constantly evolving and changing as you proceed through this incarnation that we call our life. You are constantly evolving as a human being, experiencing life itself and how you respond and react to the situations that present themselves. Energetically, you are evolving and changing. And this isn't a linear process. It is a circular process. In fact, it's not a circle, it's a spiral. It's a spiral of energy that you are moving through and with. And so when we embrace the wonder of this, you open up to the energy of possibility. Because when we really feel into the underlying energy behind astrology and alchemy, we have to refer back to those ancient texts, the writing that was recorded by kind of the ancients, the humans that have lived before, and their description of alchemy is the means of penetrating the very secrets of nature: life, death, unity, eternity, and infinity. And this is all about the exploration of our journey through life, the infinity of the universe that is constantly growing and evolving, and the natural seasons and cycles here on Earth, the beginnings and the endings, the cycles of life. And when we use the energy of the planets, the planets as keys to unlock and understand your inner boardroom, your internal wiring, your psyche, you become the master of your universe, your world. And this is what is so magical about the study of the planets which are held within you. Imagine yourself as this vibrational being, and you are emitting, sending out a musical note, a energetic signature. You might imagine this as a note or a colour that you are sending out into the world. And each one of these notes or colours is coming from one of your archetypal energies, a part of you. Your masculine energy, your sun; your feminine energy, your moon; the way you communicate and think, your mind, Mercury; your heart energy, how you love and relate to the world, Venus; how you take action, your passion, Mars; your belief systems, Jupiter; Saturn, how all of it comes together; your personal success, your self-mastery, and then beyond to the outer planets of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. And all of this makes up you. And so each one of these planets plays an integral role in who you are. From the sun, the core of your being, all the way out to Pluto, who, despite people downgrading him as he's a dwarf planet. No, Pluto is a planet in my world. Rosie, my daughter, when she was studying our solar system in primary school, and she came home telling me that Pluto was not a planet, and she was quite righteous in her, "It's not a planet, Mum. When you talk about Pluto, he's not a planet." So I'm like, I'm going to disagree there. Pluto is Pluto is the energy of empowerment. Now, you don't argue with Pluto, but all of these planets, they're like the stepping stones on your pathway to discovering who you really are, where you've come from, where you're going, what to carry with you, and what you can afford to leave behind. So in this episode, we are going to explore the feminine luminary, the moon. Now, remember, in our solar system, everything revolves around the sun. The sun is the center of our solar system. Our spirit energy is kind of the center of us. And all of the planets revolve around the sun. They have their own orbit, and they travel around the sun. Even planet Earth travels around the sun. But the moon, on the other hand, makes her own pathway. Every other planet revolves around the sun, but the moon orbits the Earth. The moon goes her own way. She doesn't follow the sun. She decides, she chooses to walk in a different way. The moon shows a different face to us every single night and every single day. The moon is ever evolving. And this is the essence of our feminine energy. The moon also hangs out with the stars. She is at her most brilliant at night when there are stars with her. She's not on her own. She hangs out with the stars. The sun follows his pathway on his own. There is nothing brighter than the sun, but the moon, she shares her space. She wants the stars to shine. And this is, again, another facet of feminine energy. It's about sharing. It's about being with others. Feminine energy is a connective energy. So the moon also represents our unconscious self. Everything that happens in the darkness. The moon is about our shadow. Feminine energy, when it is strongly embodied and lived, and I talk about feminine energy, us living our feminine energy. When we're living our feminine energy, we are not afraid of the shadows. We're not afraid of our shadows or our shadow self. Instead, we embrace the shadows. We embrace the darkest parts of ourselves and see this exploration and embracing as another way to evolve and grow. Because the moon is always evolving and growing, and feminine energy is always evolving and growing. It is dynamic. It flows. And so the more we explore the moon, the more we can connect with our unique feminine vibration and signature. The moon in the natal chart will also guide us into an understanding of our past lives, the other soul incarnations. Our soul has chosen to land and to be present in a human existence many times, sometimes more than others. Some souls have been around the spiral many, many, many times, and they are coming to the end of their time. They've moved up the spiral and they're coming to the end of their incarnations in this realm, as a human, coming down and living and experiencing a human existence. Some souls are on that beginning of that journey, and we can see all of this in the placement of your moon sign and your moon house. Your moon is also your relationship with nurturing, with sustenance. And so it is connected with mother energy, with the receiving of mother energy. So we can study the moon and explore how you have received the feminine energy. We can look at the relationship the moon has in your chart to see where that interruption of the flow of feminine energy may have happened. Why, where, when. When you truly embrace your moon sign and the house placement of your moon, your unique moon signature, it enables you to nurture yourself in your unique way, because your moon is also your body. So when you talk about, and you might say something like, oh, my body doesn't like that. My body doesn't like exercising. My body doesn't like sugar. My body doesn't like sitting still. When you talk about your body not liking something, what you're really talking about is your moon doesn't like it. Your body is the temple that your soul inhabits. It's your moon energy that creates a safe space for your spirit energy, your sun, to grow from. So your spirit energy, your sun, grows and gets stronger when it is held and encased by your body and your moon. So we can only truly step into our sun energy, our masculine energy, when we have allowed our moon, our body, to receive the nurturing that it requires. The sun, your sun energy, will only ever grow, and you will only ever be able to intentionally bring it into your life if you appreciate and recognize the container that it grows from, which is your body. When you look after your body, your moon energy, your sun can grow, and vice versa. So your moon energy, your moon sign, the house placement, gives us information and an understanding of your unconscious fears, your emotional regulation. So, for example, Aries, if you have an Aries moon, one of your fears can be around losing control, being powerless. Taurus moon, you can fear losing security. A Taurus moon, if it is not fully integrated, can operate from a feeling of lack. So you can have a lack mentality, not trusting that there will be enough around you to hold you safe. Gemini moon, this is the energy of the butterfly, the flitting, the bee that travels from flower to flower. And so Gemini energy needs the nurturing of interactions with others, a societal connection. Cancer, the fear of a Cancer moon is the lack of nourishment. Cancer moons can rely on others for emotional security, and if that isn't there, then a Cancer moon can dissolve and can shrink back into its shell. The Leo moon fear is not being liked. The Leo moon needs to be able to express itself creatively. But that fear of not being liked, not being loved, can be strong for a Leo moon. The Virgo moon is afraid of not being perfect, of not getting it right. And the Libran moon is afraid of being alone. Scorpio moon can be fearful of losing the loyalty and the allegiance and the deep connection, the sharing that happens when you fully commit to another person. Sagittarian moon energy is a fear of not knowing. A Sagittarian moon wants to explore, to experience. And the worst thing you can do for a Sagittarian moon is to trap it, to shut it down. A Capricorn moon fears a loss of respect, and an Aquarian moon fears being immersed. So an Aquarian moon can have a pattern of withdrawal, emotional withdrawal, because the Aquarian moon fears being sucked into or immersed into a collective. So the pattern is with the withdrawal, but an Aquarian moon really wants that feeling of coming together, but is afraid of getting lost. And the Pisces moon is afraid of being misunderstood. The Pisces moon has a deep emotional connection, like all the other water moons. So Cancer moon, Scorpio moon, these are emotional signs. But the Pisces moon fears being a victim, but can enact that biggest fear. So all of whatever your moon sign is, we can have our biggest fear. But what happens when we sit in the energy of our biggest fear is we actually attract what we are afraid of. So your moon energy will send out that vibration, and because of the laws of attraction, we actually receive that back. So whatever your moon fear is, it's really important to recognize when that fear is being prodded or poked or is bubbling up, and to let that go so that you don't attract more of what you are afraid of. Now, I know that the moon as a subject, as a part of the zodiac is vast. There will be many more podcasts, episodes about the moon, because there is so much to share with you. And when I was really feeling into what to talk about, what to chat with you about, I was like, oh my God, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this. There's so much. The moon is liminal and limitless, just as feminine energy is liminal and limitless. So your moon house, the position of your moon in your natal chart, gives us layers and layers of information. Your moon house is the scene of your life where you gain your emotional connection, your security. Because you use your feminine energy or your moon energy to create emotional connection, to be part of something greater than you. We have the moon cycles that we see in the heavens above. The moon changes her face. The face she shows us and allows us to see is different every single day. And this is true of feminine energy. Feminine energy is never static. That is part of the fabulousness of feminine energy, the moon. You can't contain her. She will always find a way to flow. The moon changes her face as feminine energy changes its face. The moon, her journey through the heavens, and watching and feeling into which phase she's in is really powerful for recognizing the ebb and flow of your energy, but also how the world moves as well. As the moon journeys through her phases, her cycles from new to full and back to new again, she is teaching humankind, all of us, of the rhythm of life, from birth to culmination and then back to birth again. It's the life cycle: birth, death, birth, death. She's also teaching you to trust, because every month she says, I will be back. Trust, I'm coming back. And so embracing the moon, following the moon, tracking your moon cycles is one of the most powerful ways to bring more feminine energy into your life. This is something that I encourage all of my clients in the many different programs or the ways that I work with them, one-to-one or in my groups, to track their moon cycles. How do they feel as the moon moves through her phases? How do you feel at new moon? How do you feel at full moon? How do you feel when the moon is in a particular sign? Because she travels through each sign every about 2.5 days. So the moon sign you were in is really important, but also the phase the moon was in is really important. So most of us know about new and full moons. We see them in the sky. You know, it's new moon when there is no moon. Feminine energy is at its lowest. The sun is stronger. We can't see the moon. But at the time of full moon, feminine energy is it's risen, it's there. But there are other phases of the moon. She has to move from new to full. She doesn't instantly get there. She travels across the night sky. The moon always, just like the sun, rises in the east and sets in the west. So at different times of the night, she will be in different spaces in the sky. She rises about 50 minutes later every day. So dependent on which phase of the moon she's in, it'll depend on which time of the day she rises. So understanding the phase the moon was in at the point of your birth can also give you an understanding and a recognition of how you feel with that energy. So if you were born at the time of a new moon, then beginnings are, you recognize it. Your energy goes, oh yes, I know what this feels like. I know what the darkness feels like. I know what this feels like to have a beginning, the glimmer. So a new moon is when the moon begins to show herself again. The dark moon phase is the 3 days leading up to a new moon, when the moon is not visible in the sky. That's when feminine energy is at its lowest. There is no moon. And so at the time of a new moon, when the moon is in its first crescent phase, it gives us layers of understanding. So the new moon is an incarnating energy. It's an emerging energy. It's the energy that things come through the time of a new moon. We can be more connective psychically at the time of a new moon. It's an emerging, it's an incarnating energy. And so this is what we're learning at the time of a new moon. And if you were born at the time of a new moon, this is the energy you've come through, an emerging energy. So then we have the first crescent, when the moon looks like a crescent in the sky. And in this phase, we are moving forward. We're overcoming things. It's like, okay, I've been born, I'm here, I'm present. Okay, there might be a little stumble initially, but I'm going to move forward. And then we have the first quarter. And the first quarter is when the moon literally looks like it's a quarter. It's a quarter full. And at this phase of the moon, we are deciding, we're acting, we're building. Things are growing. It's a reset point. And then we have a gibbous moon. So this is just before the full moon. And this is where we're evaluating, we're analysing, we're perfecting. Is this quite how I want this to be? And then at the time of the full moon, when she's glorious in the sky, there's a culmination energy, a fulfillment. And then there is the disseminating phase. So this is after full moon. The energy is waxing away. And there is a distribution energy, a conveyance. Everything, birth this, it's bright. And then we're sending it out. And then in the last quarter, this is another time it's time to reevaluate, to revise what's gone well, what hasn't. Then we have the balsamic stage just before the new moon. It's a distillation. It's a transformation energy. This is when we're moving into that dark moon phase, when there is no moon in the sky. And then we release, let go, and we repeat the whole thing. And so the moon teaches us to go with the flow, that it's okay to show a different face. It's okay to turn away sometimes and to retreat. It's okay to see the shadow and to embrace the shadow. The moon teaches us to trust. And so tracking the moon in the sky, tracking your cycle, your emotions and your energy is such an incredible, powerful way to bring feminine energy into your life. So if you know that you sit more in your masculine energy than your feminine energy, if you are busy all the time, got to get this done, got to get this done. If you are more direct, if you are forward focused, as in, right, I'm off. If you know that you're more in that energy space, the most powerful way to bring feminine energy into your life is to connect with your moon sign and house, but also the moon in the heavens. To sight the moon as much as you can. Now, that is often dependent on how much cloud there is in the sky. But to just have that awareness, to just pause of an evening and just, okay, just going to feel into the liminal space of the moon. So tracking your energy with the moon. How do I feel on each day? What is happening to my emotions? Have I got lots to get up and go? Or do I feel more reflective? So we can also plan with the moon. We can plan our own lives when you know how you feel under each moon phase. But we can also plan what we do in the world. Many years ago, when I was first exploring working with the moon, my guide and my teacher at the time, she shared with me that there were studies done way back, and they looked at how people were under certain phases of the moon, and without realizing it, certain groups of people were already aware of the phases of the moon. So police forces, maternity units, those working with mental health, they knew that the full moon would bring a heightened energy. More women present at hospitals with possible going into labour. Not unless there aren't more babies necessarily born at full moon, but more women will feel something around. So full moons are busier. Full moons are busier for police departments, especially if they fall on a Saturday night. And a full moon in an institution or a space where emotions are close to the surface will also be aware of the energy of the moon. This is why in times gone by, lunatic asylums were called lunatic asylums, because of the connection with the moon and Luna. It's even in the name. And so the more you can connect with this glorious energy, the more you can be intentional about your feminine energy. You can plan using the moon. I'm going to do a whole episode on planning with the moon. One of the things that we can explore in your natal chart is why you may struggle with feminine energy. And this we can see by the relationship your moon has with other planets, the relationship your moon has with the sun in your chart, and Mercury and Venus and Mars. All of the planets will give us an insight into your connection with feminine energy, and perhaps why this isn't something that comes natural to you. And this can also be because of your experience of feminine energy, the feminine archetypal energy, other women in your life, sisters, mothers, women at work, girls at school, because all of this can cause a mistrust in feminine energy as a whole. Bullying can shut down our connection with the sisterhood, the energy of trusting those around us, which is what the moon is trying to teach us. And by studying your natal chart and your energy system, we can unlock, we can set free your moon energy, your feminine energy, so you can tap into the power of your moon, which is your intuition, your inner knowing, your rhythm. And so when you intentionally bring the moon into your life, you will gain intuitive insight. Your life can flow with the dynamic energy of feminine energy. No more stagnation, no more staying the same, because the moon teaches us that everything changes, because she changes her face every single day. And when you truly embrace your moon energy, then there is a container for your sun. Your spirit energy can shine even brighter. Your moon is the container and the source that feeds your sun. They are intrinsically linked. We have both. You have both. Bringing them into your life is it's the first step in you knowing who you truly are, your core identity, your essential essence. So, sight the moon. She will balance your hormones. She will aid your sleep. If you wake at night, I urge you to pull back the curtains and see the moon. Notice where she sits in the sky. Moon bathing is just the most incredible experience. You don't have to go outside to do that. You can do it through your window. The moon is a cleansing energy. That's why we place our crystals under the light of a full moon, because she will cleanse our energy. She will flow through us. So, as we come to the end of this exploration of the moon, and there are going to be more, you're going to want to know what I'm having for my tea. And this evening, so I'm recording this actually in the dark at night, because it felt right to record this podcast with the energy of the moon. So I've already had my tea. So when I say what's for tea, I've already had it. But what I had for tea was leftovers. Leftovers is just, for me, the most deliciousness of everything. In my fridge, there is leftovers from all of the dinners from the week. My sons used to take the mickey out of me for the number of little pots in the fridge, which contain bits of dinners. There'll be like some random vegetables, some chicken, a sweet potato that I only ate half of, or, some leftover curry or leftovers. And so tonight I had leftovers. I had the energy of all of the meals that I've had this week, a bit of everything. And it was delicious. And this is the fabulousness of leftovers. And I wonder if other people do this. But it's the energy of everything that I experienced this week, because every meal is the essence of that day. Whether it's a quick, oh God, I've got to have something quick, let's make an omelette. Or whether it's that slow cooked casserole. It's the essence of your day. And so this evening, before I recorded this podcast, I had the essence of my whole week as leftovers. And it was yummy. So that's what I had for my tea. So until next time, embrace your moon, embrace your sun. And I will share with you in the next series of our Alchemy series, the energy of Mercury. Mercury is our mind. Mercury is how you make sense of the world. And Mercury cycles are powerful portals to get things done. So until next time, love and starlight from my heart to yours. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to today's episode. It's always good to hear what you think. So please let me know by leaving a comment. And if you loved what you heard, then it would be amazing if you shared it with your friends. If you would like to explore astrology and energy healing on a deeper level, come and join a community of open-hearted souls inside my Facebook group, Astrological Energy Healing for Life and Business. So until next time, love and starlight. Bye for now.